Welcome you all at mahendragroup.com. Today we are going to discuss about 20 questions of SBI Clerk mains ST number 08. Today we have choose few questions which are different from others and the difficulty level little bit higher than others, so you can understand them better. First of all, we take the question of simplification, where you have given a value in under root 1 by 4 into 1 by 49 divided by 25 upon 121. When we have values in root, the basic thing which we used to do is let the things be in square only, so that we can directly write square roots of them outside when we remove square root. So what we do, here we have all the numbers in square. So we will not solve them here. We will just put them in such a manner that we can bring them out of the square root. Now what we do, see, we have to bring them all in multiplication. So the basic step for this is 1 upon 4 into 1 upon 49 divide, change into multiply. So the values will be reversed. So the value we will put here will be the reciprocal of 25 upon 121, which will be 121 upon 25. Now as we remove the root of these values, what we will get? We will get 1 by 2 into 1 by 7 into 11 upon 5. On multiplying this, we will get 11 upon 70. As you can see here, no number is divided by each other, so it is very simple. We have to just multiply the values and we will get the answer very easily. The answer will be 11 upon 70. That means the option number 4. The answer will be option number 4. Okay. Let us come to the next question, which is bracket 2.7 cube minus 1.7 cube divided by 2.72 plus 2.7 into 1.7 plus 1.72. Okay. Here little bit mistake here, while it is not 2, it's square in the questions. Okay. So here what happens, 2.7 cube minus 1.7 cube divided by 2.7 square plus 2.7 into 1.7 plus 1.7 square. Now what happens here, it is a cube minus b cube divided by a square plus ab plus b square. And as we all know, what happens when we have this formula, the formula we put here will be a minus b, a cube minus b cube, which will be a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square, and divided by a square plus ab plus b square. So what happens, this value cancel out this and we are left with a minus b. If we are left with a minus b, we can put the value directly. The answer will be 2.7 minus 1.7 equal to 1. So the answer will option third. The answer will be option third. Fine. Let us consider the next question. Okay, number series. Here we haven't taken all the number simplification, because here we are concentrating on the part where you can do things very easily on trick basis without calculating too much. Fine. So here the series we have. The first value is 2,72,640. The second number is 1,36,320. The third value is 34,080. Fourth value we don't know. Fifth value is 710. Next value is 71. So the first thing which we have in mind, that the value are divided by some numbers, because as we can see, the values are getting reduced every time with a large variance. Now what we can do here, see, you can see here the value comes after this is exactly half. Well, if we divide 2,72,640, what we will get? 1,36,320. So the first thing is, we know it is divided by 2. Now we have to divide. How much? See, here we can see it is 1 by 10. Sometimes we can use series from anywhere. So see, the division is going on from 1 by 2 to 1 by 10. The basic concept we have here, it is in multiple of 2. 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 6, 1 by 8, 1 by 10. So we get the series. Now we have to get the number. See, you can divide this number either by 6 or you can multiply 8 here. In both the cases, what we will get? We will get 5680. Because when we divide 5680 by 8, we will get 710. Or what you can do? You can divide 34080 by 6. 6 5s are 30. We have 4 left. 40. Then 6. 6 6 are 36. Then again 4 left. 48. 6 8s are 48. 8 and 0 goes to 0. So the answer will be 5680. That is option third. Let us see the next question here. Next question is the series where we have which we have is 1, 6, 13, 24, 41 and next number. Now what we will do, the basic concept I have told you earlier also, we have to look the difference first. As you can see, it is not in the multiplication form. First we will find the difference. Now the difference here is 5, here 7, 11. So see here the difference is in increasing order of here 2, then 4. Sorry, I haven't written the difference here. 24 minus 41, the difference will be 17. And the difference here is 6. So the difference is in increasing order of 2. Or you can say in even order. 2, 4, 6. Now there will be 8. If the difference here is 8, so the difference becomes 25. So the difference is 5, 7, 11, 17 and 25, which are running on the difference of even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8. Fine, this type of series is called double series, where we have differences in double. Now what we have to do, we have to add 41 plus 25 and the answer will be 66. And here the options are none of these. So our answer will be none of these. Because we don't have here any number 66, 61, 58, 55, 63. So the answer will be none of these. Let us see the next question. The series here is in multiplication, as you can see, because the differences are very big. 2, here it is a difference of 1, then of 11, then we don't know. Still the difference is so big that it becomes in thousands. So we know it is in a multiplication form of series. Now what we have to do, we have to check the multiplication. Now the problem is here the multiplication is in some point or something like that, because we know that it is 3. 2 doesn't in a table of 2, 3 doesn't come. So what we have to do, we have to add something after that so that even number becomes a odd number. What we can do, we see here if we multiply 2 into 1 plus 1. But the problem is then what we have to do here to do, we can multiply 3 into 4 plus 2. It doesn't make sense because here we are adding the number difference. Then why we have either it is 1 and 1, so here it should be 2 or 2, but here we are putting 4 to get 14. So we know that it is a square of 2. So what is going on the series is 1 square plus 1, here 2 square plus 2. So the next number should be 14 into 3 square plus 3. 14 into 3 square plus 3 means 14 into 9. 14 into 9 is 126. 126 plus 3 is 129. If it is true, then the condition follow a step further also. Now what we have to do, we have to multiply it with 4 square plus 4. That means 129 into 16 plus 4. 129 into 16 will give us 2064 plus 4, that gives us 2068, and we get the answer. So we are sure that the answer will be 129. What the series is going on? The series is number square plus number, number square plus number, number square plus number, number square plus number. Fine. So sometimes when you multiply, you have to check the product is either even or odd, because sometimes it happens that we are multiplying the numbers with a greater number, but the value couldn't be that number, because 2's multiple always be even number and 3 is a odd value. So we are sure that on multiplying, after multiplying also we have to add some values. So what we have done, we multiply it by 1 and add 1. So we can get 3. But the problem next comes, if we are following this concept, then we have to multiply it by 2 or 3 or anything, then we have to add the same number. So if we put here 3 into 4 plus 4, then we get 3 into 4 12 plus 4 16. The number is greater than what the value is. So now we know that we have to multiply it with 4 plus 2. So what is 4 is a square of 2. So we know that the values we have to multiply are the square terms. Fine. And we have to add that number afterwards. Let us see the next condition then. Fine. So here we have discussed till now simplification and number series. Let us come to the next topic, that is inequality. Now here always we have 5 options and we have to check them out from solving these values. The first equation is 10x square minus 55x plus 70. So as we have discussed in the inequality, when the sign is minus plus, we know the roots will be positive. Both roots will be positive. Fine. Now what we have to do, we have to multiply this 70 into 10. The value is 700. Now we have to find the roots by which on adding or by subtracting we can get 55. Here in the case what we have to do, we have to add. The factors of 700 which can give us 55 are 35 and 20. 35 into 20 gives us 700, whereas when we add these numbers we get 55. That means the roots will be plus 35 plus 20, right? Wrong. Because the root have to be divided by 10, since this square value have a term with them. It has a magnitude. So whenever a square term has a magnitude, we divide these root by that magnitude or that number. Now that we know the roots will be plus 3.5 and plus 2. Fine. Now y square minus 2.25, that give us y square equal to 2.25. Fine. Whenever we have a term with a indices of even indices, that means power is in even form. If we have a power in odd form, 1, 3, 5, there is always a one root there which is positive. Whenever we have a power in even form like 2, 4, 6, we have two roots, plus and minus. So here the power is in even form, so we will have two roots which will be in a form of plus and minus. Now we know the value will be y is a square is equal to 1.5 square. 2.25 is a square of 1.5. So we will have two roots which will be 1.5 and minus 1.5. So plus 3.5 plus 2 are the roots of x, plus 1.5 and minus 1.5 are the roots of y. Now we will compare. First we will compare x value with y. 3.5 when we compare with 1.5, we know x is greater than y. Next we will compare x1 with y2. 3.5 is still greater than y2. Then we will compare 2 with 1.5. X is greater than y. 2 with 1.5, x is greater than y. So we know the answer will be x is greater than y So our answer will be x is if x is greater than y. Let us see the next question. Here as we can see, the equation is in two forms. One is when the power is in even form, and second, here the power is in odd, like power 1. Y have a 1 indices. So the root of x will be 2. We will have two roots of x. One is plus, minus, and we will have only one root of y. See, the value here are same. 86.49, 86.49. It is in under root, it is square here. So we will have the same roots here. Same roots, it means if it is here plus a minus a, here we will have plus a. So we don't have to find out the roots. Because if you don't remember the root of value of 86.49, you have to derive it out. And if I don't want to derive, I don't remember, so I don't want to calculate and the values. So I can just compare the values with a, because I know the both values will be a, same values. You can say the roots will be 9.3. That is not necessary to be calculated here. We can just compare it with a. So what will happen? We know plus a is equal to plus a, minus a will be definitely less than plus a. So the value of x is, excuse me, plus a is here what we have, minus a will be less than plus a. So x will be less than or equal to y. The value are equal. Here the value of x is less than. So the value will be x is less than equal to y. Next. See, such type of questions we have already discussed when we have the values plus minus plus minus. In such form of equation, without doing the calculation, we can just answer. The answer will be relationship cannot be established, since the roots will be plus minus, minus plus. Here will be the root will be minus plus. Whatever the roots will be, the negative value is always greater than the positive values, and the positive value is always greater than the negative value. So one value is greater, one value is less. Answer will be its relationship cannot be determined. Without taking out the roots, we can solve it by that method. Those who haven't seen those that video, let us see what I have done here. See, plus 21, we have to get 4. See, fine. So plus minus, the roots will be minus plus. Plus 4 we have to find out with 21. Then the roots will be 7 and 3. The greater root will be negative. The smaller root will be positive. Plus 2y, we have to get the plus 2 from 35, which will be 7 and 5. Greater value will be negative. Smaller value will be positive. See here, the minus 7 is less than plus y, that means x is less than y, and plus 3 will be definitely greater than minus 7, which means x is greater than y, and we cannot establish relationship when we have both the signs greater and lesser than together. So the answer will be relationship cannot be determined. Next question here. The equation is given to us is 2x square plus 13x plus 20. Fine. Since we have plus signs, we are sure that the roots will be minus minus. Now what we have to do, 2 into 20, 40, and from 40 we have to find the roots which can make 13. The roots will be 8 and 5, 8 plus 5, that is 13. So we know here the roots will be 8, 5. Is it right? Yeah, you got that. We have to divide that by 2. Now we have the roots which are minus 4 and minus 2.5. Now in this equation, what we have? 2y square minus 7y minus 4. 2 into 4 is 8. We have to make the root 7. That will be 8 and 1. So the root is 8, 1. Minus minus. That means the greater root will be positive, smaller root will be negative. And we have 2 with the square term. So we will divide this value by 2. Now the roots are plus 4 minus 0.5. When we compare, x is less than y, x is less than y, x is less than y, negative value. If the magnitude is greater, then the value is smaller. So minus 4 is less than minus 5. Similarly, minus 2.5 is less than 0.5. So we know the answer will be x is less than y. Option number. Fine. So here we know that till now we have discussed inequality, simplification and number series. Hope you have understand and got those questions right in your STs. Now discuss to an important aspect of the paper, which is data sufficiency. See what happens, it comes really in the paper, mainly in pre, but in MIS you can see it a large number of questions from data sufficiency. When we have a question of data sufficiency, we have to keep in mind that we know the chapter, we should know that chapter very but from which the question has been put up. We should know the basic of that question. We don't have to solve those questions, we just have to look that can we get that answer from the given data. We don't have to solve and find out the answer, we just have to check whether I can get that answer from the given data. See here what happens here. A question is given to us, what is the speed of a train? We have to find the speed of a train. We have two equations here. First equation says the train crosses a signal in 18 seconds. Whenever a train crosses a signal, it crosses its length. So we know the time, we have the time. Second equations give us the length of the train is 160 meter. Now we have the length of the train also. So we have the distance, we have the time, we can easily find out the speed. Whichever in terms they ask, kilometer, meter per second, because once we get the speed, we can convert it into any unit they ask to us. Now we have to use both the equation, because first equation give us the time, second equation give us the distance. So the answer will be if both statement 1 and 2 together are sufficient, but neither statement alone is sufficient. See, you cannot get the speed with only with time or only with distance. So we cannot get the speed with both of the statement alone. We need both statement together. So the speed will be 160 upon 18 meter per second, or you can convert it into kilometer per hour by multiplying it by 18 by 5. 32. The speed will be 32 kilometer per hour. We can easily drive it out with the given information. So the option answer will be correct is 5th. Fine. The next question is, here we have given what is the respective ratio of number of boys and girls in the class. What we have to find out? We have to find out the ratio between boys and girls. When we have to find out the ratio between boys and girls, what we have to do? We will check the values. Equations. First equation says the number of boys is 8 more than that of girls. Now we know that boys are 8 more than the girls, but we don't know the total or the number of boys. We cannot answer from there. The second thing is we know is the number of girls is 60% that of boys. We can directly find the ratio from this equation. We don't need the first equation, because there we have the difference. We don't require a difference here. We can just answer the ratio from here. If they ask the number of boys and girls, then we can use this equation, but here we have to only find the ratios. So the ratios will be, see, the girls are only 60% of boys. Fine. So boys will come down and the ratio will be girls upon boys 3 upon 5. Or 5 ratio 3. We get the ratio easily by just second statement. So we don't require the first statement here. We can only answer the question by using second statement. So our answer will be, if statement second alone is sufficient, but statement 1 alone is not sufficient, we can answer you the value from using these two statements. But why we need one? We can if we can answer with statement second only. Fine. Next, now the word problems comes. Here in the word problem, we ask a question of profit and loss has been given to us. The first question is, a man sold his article at a profit at 10% profit. So the man is having a profit of 10% here. Fine. If he sold it at a profit of 15%, so the earlier profit is P1, 10%. That means the selling price at that time was 110%. Fine. If we make the profit 15%, that means SP of that will be 115%. He would have gained 200 rupees more. Now he is having 200 rupees more. That means because he is getting 5% value more. See, difference between 110 and 15 is 5%. So we know that because he is getting 5% more value, that's why he is gaining 200 rupees more. So here 200 divided by 5 into 100. Since we always consider CP as 100%, as we have discussed that CP is always considered 100% in case of profit and loss until it is it doesn't say that it is calculated on SP or MP, whatever the situation is. In normal condition, we always calculate CP as 100%. So 200 divided by 5 into 100, the answer will be 540. That means 4,000 rupees. The answer will be 4,000 rupees, which is option second. Hope you get that. Let us see the next question. The next question says, a person can row a boat d kilometer upstream and the same distance downstream in 5 hours 15 minutes. So the question is, d upstream, when he will come back the same distance he will be traveling downstream. See, simple, the thing is very simple. If this is, the stream is going this way, if the boat is going against the stream, so when the boat will come back, it will be coming with the speed of with a downstream. So once he goes with upstream, then he will comes back with downstream. If he is going with downstream, so he will come back with upstream. Simple concept. He takes 5 hours 15 minutes, or we can say 5 hours 15 minutes means 1 by 4, which is equal to 21 by 4 hours. Fine. Now they say also he can row the boat 2d kilometer upstream in 7 hours. Now we know the value of 2d upon upstream or downstream, it is upstream, upon u equal to 7. How long will it take to row the same distance, same 2d kilometer downstream? See, we know the value. If we multiply this equation here and here by 2. Fine. So what we will get? We will get 2d upon u plus 2d upon d equal to 21 upon 2. Why I have done this? Because we have to find the time taken to travel 2d up downstream. So 2d upon downstream, we get the equation here only. Now we have the value of 2d upon u. We can put that 7 here. The answer will be 2d upon u d equal to 21 upon 2 minus 7, which will give us 7 upon 2 kilometer per hour. The answer will be 7 by 2 hours, kilometer per hour. No, it's not speed, it's time. So the answer will be 7 by 2 hours, which is option first. Fine. Okay. Let us see the next question. The next question says A, B, C enter into a partnership. Fine, A, B, C, three people are entering in a partnership. A invested rupees 4,000 for whole year. What A have done? He has invested 4,000 rupees for whole year. That means we know 4,000 into 12 is the investment and time product of A. Second thing, what the second part say? B puts rupees 6,000 at first and increase it to 8,000 at the end of 4 months. It means B have put 8,000 rupees for 4 months. Then what he does? 6,000 rupees. 6. B put 6,000 rupees at first and increase it to rupees 8,000. Now what student does? They add these values. See, when we have to add 6 into 8,000, when it is said that it is increased by 8,000, not 2. 2 means it limited to 8,000. That means the value now he is putting is 8,000, not 14,000. If they say that he increased it money by rupees 8,000, that means he added 8,000 into his investment. But they are saying increases 2. That means they have increased and put till 8,000, that much. They are not adding 8,000 to 6,000. Fine. And why I have put 8,000 into it? Because a year have 12 months. For the first 4 months, he had put 6,000 rupees. Remaining 8 months, he will put 8,000 rupees. Now, what we have? While C puts it at first rupees 8,000, but withdraws rupees 2,000 at the end of 9 months. So we know what 8,000 is put on by C for 9 months. Then what he does? He withdraws 2,000. He have 8,000 rupees in his account. He withdraws 2,000. Now he is left with 6,000 rupees for next 3 months. He have 6,000 rupees invested for next 3 months. Now the ratio will be, see here we can divide the whole equation by 1,000. Because each term is having 1,000 with them, we can divide the whole equation by 1,000. Now we can reduce it into simple form. 4 into 8, 48 ratio. 6 into 4, 24. 8 into 8, 64. 24 plus 64 is 88. 8 into 9, 72. 6 into 3, 18. 72 plus 18 is 90. Now we can divide the whole equation by 2. 24, 44, 45. So the answer will be 24, 44 and 45, which is option third. So let us see the next question. When we come to the next question, it is a puzzle which is given to us. Fine. See, I haven't taken all the questions from the puzzles. We have just taken the few part of this puzzle, so we can discuss the basic. We get the values are correct. Then what we can solve all the questions. So I have just taken 2 questions from this, so we can discuss the basic concept of it, and you can do the further rest of the questions I don't. See here what happens. Mr. Naveen Rai has recently acquired 4, namely transistor alpha transistor, beta transistor, gamma transistor and phi transistor. So what here we have 4 transistor AT, BT, GT and PT. So what we have here, we have 4 transistors. When the result of the companies for the year were placed before him, he found a new interesting thing about that. The profits of the GT and BT were the same. See here we have 3 things discussed. First is whenever the profit is given, we know 3 things are come in that questions. One is income, second is expenditure, and third is profit. So we have three things here: income, expenditure, and profit. Three things are discussed here. I guess you are not able to see this. I will write in more better way: income, expenditure, and profit. AT, GT, BT, and PT. BT, GT, PT. Here are the four transistors: income, expenditure, and profit. Remember one thing: income is always act like a SP, expenditure is always act like CP, and profit is profit. So what we have here, we will read the whole passage once and then we will put the values in proper manner. Fine. When the result of the companies for the whole year 2013 and 14 were placed before him, he found few interesting things about them. The profits of GT and PT are the same. Means here the values of GT and PT are same. The profits of GT and PT are same. Means here the both values will be same, whichever they come. Second thing which we have here is the sales of GT were the same as those of BT. GT and BT sales were same. Means their income will be same. GT and BT will be same. Profits at AT were 10% of his sale. So when we will get the sale, we can find it out. Whereas the profit of BT were 20% of sale, we don't have any value here. While the total expense of GT were 5 times of its profit. So we know that whatever the expense of GT will come, the profit will be divided by 5 of that. Sales of PT were 3 times of its profit. Now that we know the sales of PT will be 3 times of its profit. Okay. The total expense of GT were rupees 10 lakh. Now, the first thing value we get, the expenditure of GT is 10 lakhs. First thing. We know here that the GT were 5 times its profit. Now that means 10 is 5 times of its profit. That means if we require profit, we can divide 10 by 5. The answer will be 2. So we will get 2 here. The income of GT will be 12. 10 plus 2, 12. Expenditure plus profit gives us income. BT will be 12. Simple, because the income here of GT and BT were same. Now PT also have a profit of 2 rupees. 2 lakh, sorry. Because profit of GT and PT were same. Okay. Now here I have PT were 3 times of its profit. The expenditure, that means PT will be 6. 3 times of profit, 2 into 3, 6. So the expenditure will be 4. 80 were 10% and expense at 80 were 10% less than those of GT. Okay. Expense of 80 is 10% less than. So if we have 10% less than GT, that means 9, 10% less. Fine. Now what else data we have? GT profit defined difference of sales and total expense. Okay. First line, the profit of GT and PT were the same. We have used this data. The sales of GT were the same as those of BT. We have used that data. Profit of AT were 10% of its sale. Okay. See, 10% of its sales means that it is 10% less than income. That means 9 is 90%. So it should be 10 and this should be 1. Simple. See, if I said income is 80 or income is 100%, it is its expenditure is 10% less. That's why he is having a profit of 10% of this. So its expenditure should be 90%. We have the expenditure 9. That means 9 is 90%. 100% will be 10. If the income is 10 and expenditure is 9, that means profit will be 1. Fine. The next thing is 10% of its sale, whereas the profit of BT were 20% of its sale. Now the profit is 20%, 20%. 12 into 120, because sorry, 12 into 20%, that will give us 2.4. So the profit is 2.4. The expenditure will be 9.6. So we know the values 10, 12, 12, 6 was the income of AT, BT, GT, PT. Expenditure is 9, 9.6, 10, 4. Profit will be 1, 2.4, 2 and 2. Now let us see the question based on this. The first question says which company had the highest profit? Highest profit is 2.4. Which company is having that? The company BT. So the answer is BT. Second, BT option. The next question. The next question says which company had the lowest sales? Now the lowest sale means lowest income. That means PT is 6. So PT. Answer is option 4. So we have all the data here. You can solve the further question from it. Fine. What we have done, just let us see again the question. We just put the first value here, which is the numerical value, that is 10 lakh. We put the 10 lakh here and then we drive the given data. So first what we have to do, we have to make a table of the data or Venn diagram, whichever is the type of puzzle it is, and then what we have to do, we have to first find out such questions a numerical value, and from there we use the data given before to drive the answers. Fine. Now the next puzzle which is given to us. The next puzzle which is given to us says a professor keeps a data on student tabulated by performance and gender of the student. The data kept on a computer disk, but unfortunately some of it is lost because of a virus. So see here, it is kind of a missing DI, where we have a data given of male, female and total average good and excellent performance of a kept by a professor. Now what we know, all following should be recovered. Okay, so here it is a kind of a puzzle and a missing DI, both in a mixed form. What we have a data here and a missing DI here. We have to use this missing data to fill the missing information here. Let us see how we can do it. The first statement says half of the students were either excellent or good. That means half of the strength is of average student. Second information we have 40% of the students were female. Now we know one thing, female are 32. Here females are 32. We know first thing. So when the females are 32, we know. So what we can do? 32 is 40%. So 100% will be. 100% will be. Sorry, 32 is 40%, right? So 100% will be 80. Fine. 100% will be 80. So we know the total student here is 80. Fine. Average student is half of this, 40. That means here excellent student should be 10. That's why 40 plus 30 plus 10 is 80. Next thing is half of the students were excellent or good. 1/3 of the male students were average. 1/3 of the male students. Okay. One or more thing. 32 minus 80 give us 48. That is the total number of males we have. 1/3 of that are average students. 48 1/3 is 16. 48 1/3 is 16. So average male we get is 16. So the good student will be 16 plus 10, 26. 26 minus 48, that is 22. Okay, female. When we minus 16 from 40, we got the average number of female, which is 24. When we minus 22 from 30, we get Good number of females, that is 8, and excellents are 0 because the total is 10 only. So 10, 10, they are 0. Now we can check the data. 16 plus 22 plus 10 is 48. 24 plus 8 plus 0, that is 32. 40 plus 30 plus 10 is 80. 16 plus 24, 40. 22 plus 8, 30. 10, 10. So the answer, we have all the data here now. Let us see the question. Okay, the data is somewhat missing. Among average number of students, what is the ratio male to female? Average number of students, average is 16 and 24. Ratio between male and female, 16 ratio 24. Answer will be 2 ratio 3. 2 ratio 3, option third. Okay. The next question is, what is the proportion of female students are good? Female students are good, that is 8 upon 30. 8 upon 30, which is approx 0.25, I guess. 8 divided by 30 will give us approx 0.25. Option second. The next question. How many students are both male and good? Male and good. Male and good is 22. So the answer is 22. Answer is 22. So, okay. So we have discussed 20 questions, which is from your SBI ST mains. Hope you understand all the concepts. Enjoy this enjoy this video. You can subscribe our YouTube channel, as well as you can see these videos on our Mahindra Group app, MG app. For your comments and your reviews, you can come to mahindragroup.com.